Okay, okay. Mic check 1 2 1 2. I am the Y2K collector, and I'm back. I know that I've been pumping out more videos than I usually do. That's because I've got some time here recently to kind of just catch up, my subscriber base on what's been going on with my collection. And whenever I get a chance to do that, I always try to do so. I am not a lifelong video game collector. I am a lifelong player of video games. I've played video games my entire life, and I would say that I grew up, in a modest household. Not a lot of money was spent towards video games. In fact, my first console that I ever actually got was a Game Boy. And then it wasn't until, I want to say maybe high school, that I finally started getting things like the Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo. And it was like I had to catch up on almost like a decade worth of consoles in a matter of 2 years. And that was only because, I had the part-time job money to finally go and buy these systems when they were already old. But nevertheless, I still had my experiences with video games growing up, and I enjoyed them a lot. I started playing them a lot more when I finally got into high school, because that was when I could get my own games, and I was buying my own games. I bought my own Dreamcast, I bought my own N64, I bought my own PlayStation. I think I bought my own PlayStation 2. I think the only console that was bought for me by a parent was my GameCube, which I didn't even, keep that long. So, and look at it now, right? GameCube is like the best thing since sliced bread. But anyway, so I say all that to say that, my collection really started seriously again, probably around 2016-ish. And at that point, I was maybe only buying a few games a year. But it really started to ramp up with the start of the pandemic. And I knew once I got my collection going, I would really just want to collect for consoles that I was playing pretty much when I was in high school. And that's really like the PlayStation, PlayStation 2, Dreamcast, just in that 5-year period. So that's primarily what I collect for. The Sega Saturn is something that I collect for just because that's a console I had always wanted to have. I just could never get my hands on it for some reason. And so, I've spent the last few years collecting for the PlayStation 2, the Sega Saturn, and the Dreamcast. And so I have spent a lot of time collecting for the Switch, because that's been really like the next best console for me based on the type of games I like to play. But I still turn around and go back to find great PlayStation 2 and Dreamcast games to kind of build on that side of my collection. So without any more waffling or jabbering, I'm going to go ahead and just go over a few recent pickups. I don't have many, but I do have some good ones. So I'm going to go over a few Dreamcast games. These are recently released Dreamcast games, and by recent, I would say within the last year or so. And the first one is Battle Crust. This is a shmup. If you follow the channel, you know how much I love my shmups. And this is just like a cool shmup that I wanted to check out. As you can see there, get the light going. Yep. So pretty much just a vertical shooter. Pretty cool looking ship. Always love to get an opportunity to check out some cool Dreamcast shmups, so I wanted to add that there. The next one up is Volgar. This looked like a pretty cool Metroidvania style, kind of like Golden Axe meets, I don't know, Castlevania style game. Pretty cool. Love the feel of it. Decided to go ahead and check that out and wanted to add that to the collection. And then last but not least, FX Unit Yuki. So this is a pretty cool pickup there. Another side-scrolling platformer game. Got some cool elements, some cool mechanics to it. More Japanese style. But this was one that I saw. It fit my type of game that I like to play, so I went ahead and picked that up. FX Unit Yuki. All right, now we're going to jump into some PlayStation 1 pickups that I've made. And on some of these are some of these I've picked up over the last 6 months. I've just failed to kind of go over them. But here's one that I had picked up, and this is Floating Runner. This is like a 3D, adventure, like a 3D platformer game, open world adventure game. This is a pretty cool one. You saw a few games like this on the PlayStation. And so whenever you saw it, whenever I saw those, I just wanted to grab it. So Floating Runner, 3D platform adventure game, pretty cool one. And then we have another one, kind of similar, Pandemonium 2. This was one that I definitely wanted to add to the collection. Just the graphics, the PlayStation graphically, when it came to the 3D games on the PlayStation, at least for me, a lot of them were not great. Only a few games really got it right. And Pandemonium, they got it right. So check that out. Wanted to pick that up. And then the last pickup that I have here was a PlayStation 2 game that I've had my eye on for a while. And I really love the whole, samurai themed games. I've got Way of the Samurai. I've got Rising Zan was a game that I just picked up. I'm drawing mental blanks right now. I know I've got a ton of samurai games. The Dynasty Warriors, obviously, games like that. I've got Drakengard rather, Shining Force EXA. There's a few of those games that I have that I really enjoy of that style. And this was one that I had to have, though, because it just, there's really not many games like it. And I really like fighting mechanics. I really look for games with good fighting mechanics. I've played a lot of fighting games. I spoke about my love for Marvel vs. Capcom 2 in my other video. And so all that made me wanted to grab this here. And so this is a samurai western, right? And to me, this is just another take on Rising Zan, but this is a really cool PlayStation 2 game. Fighting mechanics are amazing, and I think the only other game to have probably even better fighting mechanics is Blood Will Tell, and that's just another classic right there for the PlayStation 2. But this is action, speed, fighting mechanics. It's all about timing. These types of games are great for me, because they just challenge my ability to react, my ability to respond, as well as to kind of guesstimate what the opponent's going to do. So it's fun. It's games like this that have made me purchase games like Fury for the Switch. That frantic, fast-paced action. And if you don't know what Fury is, here, I'll show you what a copy of that game is. And this is for the Switch. And this was published by Limited Run. And so those PlayStation games are kind of what, as you can see, kind of fall in line with the types of games that I like to play. And this is just if you haven't played Fury, it's like a twin stick shooting, hack and slash, boss brush. Like it gets your adrenaline going. So Fury is a good one. If you haven't played this for the Switch, download it on the eShop. This is a very fun game to play. Even if you don't get it physically, just download this game and play it. Fury is a lot of fun. That pretty much does it for this video. Just going over a few pickups. Like I said, I don't really get a ton of stuff. Just trying to focus on building up that quality collection. I just want everything I put my hand on in my library to be, absolute fire to me. I just want it to be a game that I'll totally love and I can keep playing if it was the last game saved from my house burning down. I want to make sure that no matter what game survives the fire, it'll be a game that I love, and I think that just makes me really appreciate my collection. So let me know what you've picked up. Let me know what you've been into, what games you've been eyeing, what genres of games you're into. Someone I think put down in my comments that I need to take a look into I think a certain type of game or a genre that I don't normally look at. I'm not really into the survival horror, things like that. I'm not really into like first person shooters. Those kind of make me a little dizzy. So But maybe I need to kind of take a stab at those again. So, but let me know what you think. All right. Well, I'm the Y2K Collector. Thank you for checking me out again today, and enjoy the rest of your day. Alrighty. Have a good one.